Welcome to the realm of magic and mystery, classic horror and sci-fi. You are now entering the House of the Unusual podcast with your hosts, Eddie and Joe.
Welcome to another week of House of the Unusual, where the fun and the excitement come into you each and every week as we get together to tell new stories, both exciting and unusual stuff. Now, Chuck, how are you this morning, Chuck?
All right, Eddie, pretty good. I tell you what, it's been a really crazy week here in Pittsburgh. My wife, Sherry, had a surprise birthday party for me. And I'll tell you what, she really did surprise me. My actual birthday's this Thursday, which is tomorrow. I'll be 60 years old. And this past Saturday, she had a surprise birthday. And it really was a surprise, man. I'll tell you what, she blindfolded me and drove me to an undisclosed location. I thought I was going to have dinner somewhere and like maybe see almost like a dinner theater type of thing, because she knows I like acting and so forth. So I come into this, I don't know, this strange hall, which I couldn't see anything. She guided me down the steps and pushed the door open. She pulled the blindfold off, and there was about 50 people there. They all shouted, "Surprise!" It was really cool, totally unexpected. How they got away with this, I have no idea. But I'll try and post some pictures on the forum if it's possible. And there's a little video that a guy from my church put together. It's really, really cool. I tell you what, Eddie, that's not easy to pull off. You know, when you want to surprise somebody, it's very difficult. And they did a great job.
You know, Chuck, I had gotten the invitation. I was trying to make it down there, but the flu kind of put me down.
Yeah.
And that's why I said to her, count me out on it because of the fact, you know, I wasn't feeling that great. But, you know, it was funny, though, because it's great to have your wife do that once for you in a while, you know?
Yeah.
Once a while for you. But,
yeah.
You know, Chuck, I was going to tell you one of the things. How was your trip down in Santo Domingo? Did you enjoy it? I know we spoke, I think, in the last podcast a little bit about it. But now that you've been back in town for almost 2 weeks now, I guess?
About a week and a half, yeah.
A week and a half, yeah. How do you feel overall? I mean, would you go back again, or what do you think?
I tell you what, it was absolutely beautiful. I went with my son, Nick, so we spent some quality time together, and it was great. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. We were on a nice resort. You know, I think I mentioned before, or you know what, or if I didn't, you can't really leave the resort. It's really not a good idea. I searched it online. So yeah, we stuck to the resort, and it was big. It was a huge resort. They had about 4 swimming pools, and then it was right on the ocean. They had probably maybe 7 different restaurants and so forth, and a bunch of different bars and everything. But we don't drink, so we just. But it was neat, and we smoked some cigars and so forth. It was really, really cool, very relaxing. And you know, we kept in touch. Me with Sherry, you know, we talked via what is that called?
Facebook?
Yeah,
FaceTime.
FaceTime. And Nick did the same with his girlfriend. And but no, it was very relaxing. You know, probably I would never go back. It's once in a lifetime thing. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of chaos when you ride from the airport to your to the place where you stay. You know what I mean? The company my son works for sent a shuttle for us, which is cool. I don't know what people do normally because it says online, do not get an Uber. You know, that it could be a little dicey. So I don't know, you know, how people do handle that type of thing. But there was a coach that picked us up, which is kind of cool. But it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, if you have it all situated out there, if you want to go visit, do it. You know, just keep it safe. And speaking of the flu, now my son is sick. Yeah, he has this flu bug going around. He went to like a express type of thing, and they said it's all viral. They didn't even give him anything. So they said, except cough syrup. That's basically what they prescribed.
You know, what I was going to say is, especially when you're traveling overseas, you have to be very careful, especially in countries that, you know, you're outside the USA. They're always trying to get some money from you.
Yeah.
Somebody actually had just come back from Egypt about a week ago. And she was telling me the story, and it was kind of funny, though, because they get up on your face. They like go up the Nile, like in a boat or something. They'll get off. They'll try to just sell you everything, and they'll even say to you, "Hey, look, if you give me $4 or $5, I'll leave you alone." And I was like, "Wow, man!"
Wow.
And she said that what they were actually selling weren't even souvenirs; it was just junk.
Yeah.
And because I was thinking, the first thing that came to my mind is, I wonder if they have like any models of like the Great Pyramid and stuff. Like you could buy souvenirs, but she said there was really not any of that, and I was kind of shocked on that because it's just people. You got to understand, you're leaving the USA. You're gonna have it's kind of like there's even parts of here, where we live. Say for example, you go to Atlantic City. It's sad to say you can't even walk on the boardwalk. You got all
Yeah.
these gypsies trying to, get money from you, and it's ridiculous. So it kind of makes the fun out of the stuff. I mean, I always thought it would be phenomenal to go like to Israel, to go to one of those countries over there that they have those markets where you could see all these real, weird souvenirs. But I don't know if it really is like I think it might be a little bit more chaotic and maybe not as fun as one would say it is.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? There's always more to it, than it would meet the eye. I mean, you have to experience it yourself. I think I talked about last time on the beach. I mean, people constantly harassed us, and that was in the resort. So I don't know how the heck they got down there, but you know what? I just wanted to rest and relax and chill, and just like lay out, and just take it easy. You know what I mean? But they kept bugging you.
Did you get a chance to do magic with anybody over there?
Yeah, I did.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, I did. I actually brought some cards and a few of the close-up things, and I showed a couple of my son's associates some close-up stuff. So, hey, whatever the showman, Eddie, I can honestly say that I performed in Santo Domingo. So that's cool. Yeah.
that makes your tri-state area a little bigger.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, that just recently, I guess when you were in Santo Domingo, the book finally came out because we did. I didn't have contact with you for about 4 or 5 days, but I just want to let you know that it's live now. The Shadows of Time is live on Amazon. And this book, I think you read it, Chuck.
Yes.
What can you tell people about it? Because it's now available to the public. So anybody who's listening that wants to buy Shadows of Time, I think it's the best book we put out. It's phenomenal. It's got a great ending. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think it's really phenomenal. And the best part about it is it's 156, 160 pages.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chuck. Say a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you folks need this book. I mean, if you're into strange and unusual things, get this book. I mean, that's all we touch base on is unusual. House of the Unusual. Get this book. It is really cool, and it is so well written. It's not even funny. I mean, Eddie did a great job, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I would highly recommend it. And I think it's by far, like you said, the longest book that we wrote. Close to 160 pages, I believe, somewhere around there. But yeah, definitely get it, man. You know what? It's available on Amazon. It's a reasonable price, and it's really cool.
Right. And one thing I want to tell you guys, it touches everything from the Philadelphia experiment, time travel, the Roswell incident, the Kecksburg, the Nazi bell. It's all in one thing. We're actually working, me and Chuck got together, and we have this one particular scientist, and he's been helping us with a lot of the research, which has made this book possible. And I just want to let you guys know that we're actually working on one, Echoes of the Ancients, and it's the Pyramid Secrets. There is an engineer I've met that's got a possible way of how this was put together. Like he thinks he can kind of unravel a new mystery on the pyramids, and we're putting it down in paper. So if you guys are following us in Amazon, you can look up under Chuck Caputo or Eddie Guevara, either or, as an author, and all the books that we have published that will pop up. You guys, now Chuck, another question: with your magic shows, are they picking up now in the beginning of the year, or how are they?
Yeah, actually pretty good. We're leaving for a show probably in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah, I have a show today. I have one Saturday coming up. Yeah, pretty good, not too bad. I actually turned down a few of them, because of the trip. But overall, yeah, it's been very good. And traveling a lot, that's the downfall. I mean, this show today is about an hour and a half away. But yeah, so I'm going to take Sherry out to dinner, so that'll be cool. And then we're going to go to the show, then come home. But yeah, but overall pretty good. Hey, but getting back to the pyramids, that was always a very interesting topic. I mean, I was always fascinated by that, and I know many of the listeners out there are as well. I mean, the actual dimensions of these things, and if you measure the sides of it and so forth, it always ends up perfect pie. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
You know, the reason I mentioned the book about the pyramids is because Chuck, up in my job, and you know, I notified you of it. There's one of the engineers that actually has been building. He's been behind building some of the big skyscrapers in New York.
Wow.
It's not, you know, it's not just a novice. He's a very professional,
Yeah.
kind of CEO guy of the company, and we become friends a little. And you know, he says, "Hey, have you ever tried to tackle the pyramid mysteries?" And I'm like, you know what? We just did Shadows of Time, and we also have the Alien Ball, which to everybody who hasn't bought it, Alien Ball from Space Unraveling a Cosmic Artifact is a book that I've launched because I will have the Alien Ball that I have, which is known as the Victor's Ball, in display at Schiller Theater on the last week of April. I believe it's April 26, 27, 28. I could be wrong, but it's the last week of April.
Nice.
So then Shadows of Time came into it. And, you know, Shadows of Time tackled everything from the UFOs. Now, in the place where I work and stuff, there's a lot of engineers, there's a lot of scientific people, there's a lot of basically scientists and people that, you know, they're really high up in the ladder, especially in the New York City area. And that's how I come across, and I've talked with different people about topics and stuff, and I said, you know what, can you help? And they're like, sure. So Shadows of Time was actually the help of a German scientist along with a Russian scientist, which are the two that I kind of befriended. And that book came out really, really phenomenal. Now, with the pyramids, one of the guys that was watching us, actually the engineer, passed by, and he goes, "Oh, you guys are doing this book on UFOs. Have you ever guys considered doing pyramids?" And that's when I figured, hey, you know, I came up with the title, Echoes of Time, the Pyramid Secrets Revealed. And you know what? It's a beautiful cover so far, but the book itself is, it's going to get into all the details of all the possibilities of how it was built. As you guys know, there had been over the years many, many people that claimed, or scientists, archaeologists that have claimed that they could unravel some of the secrets, but of course we really don't know because this happened about 4,500 years ago, you know. Very few records are even, I believe, available. The guy they say, I forgot the name now, the king that built that pyramid, supposedly, the Pyramid of Giza, you know, I think they only have a little statue of him about 10 inches tall.
Right.
But what I wanted to bring to your account, guys, is, and another thing is, we're not talking about ancient aliens here. We are not talking about stuff that are, you know, that people want to say, because there are pyramids all over the world. Okay, it's not just found in Egypt. We have pyramids in South America. We have pyramids. In fact, there's recently, I believe, my son brought to my attention. I've heard of it many, many years ago, but I haven't looked into it. Where he was saying Buzz Aldrin actually was the one that there are pyramids in Antarctica, which means Antarctica at one time might not have been all ice.
Right.
I think Chuck, I don't know if you heard of them, but I think you see them from space in the Hubble telescope or something. They found. I got to see what, you know. I got to look into it. I haven't looked into it, but it will be a nice part for one of the chapters in the book. But I'm going to look. When I look at stuff like this, it's not just me and Chuck looking it up. I'm going to consult somebody who knows,
right,
an engineer, somebody who could say, hey, this is false, this is garbage. And, you know, that's how we're putting together stuff. It's basically, I'm designing the book and kind of putting it together to the templates. Chuck is supplying me some of the information, other information being supplied to us by people getting involved. It's not us. It's people that know the topic, and they're getting heavy into it. Now, Chuck, I wanted to also tell you, and I guess I was talking to you about it a little while ago, but I want to bring it to the people's attention there. The website has been finished. The website has been going through a couple of hiccups. We get the only thing that's been going with the website is sometimes when people bring it up in their browser and the words House of the Unusual go up, they kind of like cover the background for some reason. and the web designer has been trying to fix that, and I believe it should be fixed by now. It's gone through a lot of revision and stuff, but what I want to tell people is, if you guys like to buy on eBay and stuff like that, and you want to buy stuff from us, go on the website and do it. Don't do it through eBay. You're better off just going into the website, because if you go through the website, we have more control and we can offer you better prices. eBay is really a great place, and for the years I've sold probably for the last 30 years on eBay. But I'm going to tell you guys that eBay is very expensive. Their fees are astronomical. They're getting higher each time. Etsy's a better deal, but in Etsy, what we sell are all Chuck Caputo's handmade items. Anything that's rare, I've put on Etsy, and I'm also going to be adding to the website. That's the only thing, because Etsy has to be handmade stuff or vintage items. Again, and me and Chuck are trying to figure out how to do online auctions, and I need to reduce my storage. Right now, as we speak, I'm actually moving all my stuff again to a new storage unit, trying to reduce price and cost. But I mean, we're talking 3 10 by 15 and 1 5 by 10 just to try to fit this stuff in. It's crazy. I need to reduce a lot of my original stuff, and I'm going to concentrate, because my collecting has gone all over the map over the years. Everything haunted, from haunted houses to vintage Dracula and Frankenstein to monsters.
I saw those pictures you sent me. I tell you what, you got a lot of stuff, but it is taking a nice form. It's starting to shape up a little bit, but you got a lot of stuff. Mine's mainly magic. You know what I mean? You have something of everything.
I actually, Chuck, I think I'm going to, on the website later today, I'm going to put a post on the blog and post those pictures, just to get some people an idea.
Show people what you have. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable.
That's only what I did right now so far. Is I took a 10 by 10 unit and a 5 by 10 and kind of converged it, moved it into the 10 by 15, and I'm trying to stick it all in there, because I mean, it's going to be a big savings, for Pete's sakes. But what I'm telling you guys is that, and this is very important, is I need to get rid of a lot of my collection. I'm not getting younger. We're getting older. And look at a good example. This guy reaches out yesterday. He goes, wow, you guys got the coolest things. I'm 62. So as you could see, the age is going up. We need to get rid of what we have now so we can still enjoy it, because we're all in our 60s right now. So having said that, the era of mail order, the era when the 7-foot ghost and the Frankenstein and all that stuff were popular, all the people that were little kids then are now close to 60 or over 60. So, it's better to just, instead of just hoarding collections, letting everybody get a piece of it, where we still can enjoy it in life, So I think it's time for me to start moving some of my stuff to the hands of other collectors. Now, getting back to that, what I was going to say is I did find my original 7-foot ghost, both the Johnson Smith and the Melton Company ghost. I'm going to unwrap it, and I think I'm going to try to display it on the wall in this one unit I'm in right now. That'll be phenomenal, because I could take pictures and see what it looks like, because they're both under frame, and they're really nice. I mean, those pieces, I framed them years and years ago. And, as you guys know, most of that stuff is there now. Anybody who is interested, especially, I still have great amounts of photo of the Polaris nuclear submarine, which exchanged hands not too long ago. I've kept in contact with the person, because he said if I ever need photos or anything. I did sell that because the amount of money offered was very good. I'm not going to turn it down. But I wanted to tell you guys that, again, I'm going to be reducing a lot of the collection. And if you guys know, Chuck also has a huge collection. He's been collecting magic since time began, before the pyramids, In fact, they unearthed inside the chamber of the pyramids one of Chuck's missing cards or something.
Oh, man. I tell you what, Eddie, I got the one storage unit, and it's 10 by 15 or 10 by 17, somewhere around there. And that's it. I mean, I'm not going to get any more. It is a little congested, particularly behind the curtain. If you see pictures, it's like subdivided by a curtain about 3/4 of the way back. and that's where I have a lot of totes and everything and
You
boxes.
know,
But I try to keep everything on display that's a collectible thing because it's just like a cool place to hang out, have some fun. You know what I mean?
Chuck, I was noticing you were doing a lot of your shows out of the storage, but I guess the construction and the noise kind of made that impossible, huh?
Yeah, at times it is. You know what? When I've been going there, they're working on things. It's a new facility, and they're working on an elevator, and there's always people banging in there. But when they are done with it, I would like to make some more, films in there and so forth. I think in the future, I'm going to do a few over my son's house too. Nick has a really nice dining room table that I was eyeballing. I think that'd be kind of cool. There's to do some close-up stuff there. But yeah, quite a few times what I've been doing was bringing things home that I feel I need, and then I do it here in our living room. But yeah, hopefully I would like to go back to the unit because I did film about 5 or 6 videos in there, and I'd like to go back to
You
it 'cause
know,
it's so cool.
yeah, I've tried to do the same thing. Like, say, for example, I have, I was going to make backdrops, and as people, I mean, I haven't been on YouTube for about 4 months now. I have some great ideas for me to start going back on YouTube again because on YouTube, basically, Chuck, you've been running the show. I'm going to start showing some of the collectibles. It's just that a lot of the people that are out there that are listening, first of all, I'm writing books. I've been putting together the books. I've been putting together the website with my brother. It's been overwhelming, so I haven't, and the podcast, because right after we do each podcast, I have to spend about an hour and a half editing. So just to let you guys know, that's why I haven't been on YouTube, because a lot of people are asking me, hey, how come you're not reviewing products? The only problem is I can only do so much and not wear thin and get tired of it. See, what we're doing here, the best part me and Chuck do is we do it because we love it. We're doing it because it's fun, and Chuck's building things because he's enjoying it. But the moment it becomes a job, that's when we don't like it.
Yeah.
So we don't. The idea is not to get, because, like, for example, with the podcast, we had to take a 2-week hiatus due to the fact that I wanted to start the new season in a different way, a new format. We were having some problems with the volume, which in Chuck's side, where when I would talk, then he'd come on and the volume dropped drastically, him and his wife. And then I was told, but it was kind of funny, though, because the show didn't air for a week. And I started getting a bunch of emails. Hey, what happened? And I was like, okay, I'll be there. But the point is again, it's a lot of work, a lot of things, and I want to get, but it's going to be fun, though. When I get it down to patent that each week I'm able to offer a video, review a couple of products for 5-10 minutes, you guys will enjoy it. And I'm going to start bringing on, that's what I'm actually trying to do. And Chuck, if you see the layout, the way I've laid out the storage unit,
Oh yeah,
I kind of left the left side with all the toys so that I can start reviewing stuff.
absolutely.
I have desk and stuff. Now, I would probably do it late at night because the storage, like you said, you're going to get a lot of people in and out. There's thousands of units there. So during the day, it's going to be impossible. Just a little while ago, it's funny. I got a quiet background here, and the podcast is ready to go, and there's a bird start singing in my window. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, that's hilarious. You know what? Even one time in the unit, there was a kid riding a bicycle. I mean, that's not even allowed. And I'm trying to talk on a video, and he rides by on a bicycle, and I thought, this is ridiculous. So it gets crazy during the day. It really does. But like you said, as long as this remains fun, then we'll do it. At my birthday party, I've had so many people ask me, well, when are you going to quit doing magic? And that's exactly what I told them. As long as it still remains fun, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Which it is. Yeah. And so you know what? So far, so good. I've been enjoying it nearly 40 years, and it's just a cool job. And thank God I do earn a decent living with it. So that's another factor too. So I do keep busy with it as well.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. The whole thing is, like I'm saying, when you're doing the podcast, when you're doing anything, it takes on a world of its own. And when people start doing TikTok, when people start doing, I mean, I love to get into TikTok. TikTok actually, Chuck, I don't know if you noticed, but they have a section that you can sell on TikTok. And it would be great to come up with some magic tricks that you can make and stuff, and we could sell them on TikTok.
Yeah.
But the problem is the volume of sales is really pretty high, Chuck.
Oh, okay.
Like, you gotta, it's really cool. I mean, I think we're gonna go that route eventually. But we need to have something that's going to be cheap to make and mass produce in large quantities
Right.
without individual, because it's no way you're going to sell an individual product there.
Right.
Because Chuck, it's crazy. I saw they were selling this keychains that reminded me of you remember in the mail order comic books, you had the atomic keychain, which is like an atomic pistol, I think it was
yes,
called.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that little pistol with the cap, they were selling miniature pistols like that, Chuck. And for some crazy reason, man, I looked in the top, it said 768 units sold in the last, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
So the lady was selling pretty good. It was done by a Chinese company. But they mastered it. They mastered the sale on TikTok. And again, TikTok, people that are buying TikTok, Chuck, are not going to be magic collectors or stuff. They're just a bunch of people all over the world,
just curious
So,
people, sure.
right. So you could sell like magic tricks and stuff like that, but you're not going to be able to sell collectibles there.
I like to make a few TikTok videos here and there. I am on there. And you know what? That's a place where I could really let my personality show, because I like to joke around and stuff, and I like to act, you know what I mean? So there's different things on there, kind of funny. One I even play Rocky on there. I even have a robe and everything. It's like really funny, man. The part where during the movie where he cracks the eggs into the glass and he drinks it and everything. And I do a little spoof on that where I get nauseous and I can't drink it and I almost throw up. It's like hilarious, man. When I sent that to my son, he said he almost fell off the chair laughing. So there's a lot of neat things I do on there that are, that show my sense of humor, which is kind of funny.
Yep. Well, Chuck, it's phenomenal. I'm glad you're enjoying. But anyway, Chuck, we're coming out to the end now, so I'm going to wish all you people out there a great week. Thanks for listening to us, and we're going to be getting better. We're still working with some of the nicks and stuff to make this podcast sound better. We will eventually continue, because we're experimenting with different things as of today, actually. And so you might still hear some in and outs and stuff, but I'm working on seeing what the solution to that stuff is. So having said that, guys, have a great day. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye. God bless.
Bye.